All right, I just wanted to go over real quickly how I make ICRPG tokens for VTTs. Alex Alvarez already did a great simple overview of how he does it. I'll have a link for that um, in the description or wherever. But I like to make custom tokens and mash things together. There's just a large collection of art that you can almost make anything. And so I just wanted to show you how I do it in Affinity Photo. Now this can be done in Photoshop as well. I'm also using a Mac. Commands I use convert it over to Windows. Um, yeah, so let's get started. So the first thing I've done is I've gone in. I'm going to be recreating Mr. Mythos from a recent Vigilante City game. Um, but what I do is I go through all the art and I find pieces that I like. I might reference or cut up to use, and then I put them out into my page. And then the first thing that I'll do after that is I'll go into the image um, itself, and you'll see that it has a white background. And so up here in Affinity Photo, there's a filter down in the colors, um, and it's called Erase White Paper. I've also added a keyboard shortcut um, to it. You can do that in the preferences options. Here you make custom keyboard shortcuts. And what I'll do is I will take that and it will just erase the white paper back to it. And you can see that it's now transparent. Um, Anything that was white is now transparent. Now, I don't. You can see it a little bit, but if you do a screen grab from maybe a PDF, most of the core ICRPG books have this papered crumpled paper texture on the back. And so if you want to do the same thing, if you just do the erase white paper, you'll still end up getting some of the grays from that texture. And so what I like to do first to address that is come over here to the image with that texture, create an adjustment layer, a brightness and contrast. And then what I'll do is I'll just up the brightness to the point where that gray texture is gone. And then I'll just up the contrast so that I don't lose that nice rich black. And you can just play around with it until you're happy. And then you can just merge it down. And so now I've gotten rid of that texture. I can go up to the colors filter and do erase white paper. And now again, I have that transparent, um, or I've removed the white background. So I can do that with all of my uh, all of my art that I'm going to be using. Move the white. So now I have nothing, no white, it's all transparent, ready to play with. And so I'm going to use this guy as my base. And so the first thing that I want to do is I'm just going to get rid of his lantern. So I just get my eraser out and erase out what I don't want. You can also use the selection tool, but I'm just kind of rough chopping it up. Now he doesn't have that arm. And now what I'm going to do is over here, I'm going to use the selection, uh, just the lasso. I'm just going to take selection of this tentacle, copy it, move it up. See, there's some, perhaps something else. Anything that might be there that I can't see, delete it. Now it should be this. And now I can play with it. I can just rotate this around. I'll flip it. And just kind of fit it into the scene, into the body, and you can see I can see the transparencies there. So what I can end up doing now is just going through and erasing anything I don't like for that off. make it so it fits in there. If I'm in doubt, I can, not sure exactly there, I can lower the opacity of one of them and see how it fits. And then what I can do from there is I can maybe add a little black to space, fill in some of that space line, make it fit a little bit better. Um, just kind of be loose with it, obviously. And then, so look, now he's got a tentacle arm. Fine. Then the other things I can look at is, okay, I can see, I like how that kind of looks. So maybe I could do the same thing. I can enlarge this a little bit. Just take this portion. But over select everything. Delete it. That. Now I can come up here and see, look good of this. But that's super pixelated, so maybe I can make it small and just have it out here. Back parallel. Parallel back. Right, its neck. Well, then I can also just look at kind of how Pinkern did it, and I quickly just doodle out something. Doodle out. Tentacle. Here. Yeah, the ICRPG I love it. So loosey goosey. Shape. And then I can just kind of go through and add maybe a dark spot here, and based off what he's doing is just black space with little circles. So there, and then I'm seeing little suckers jutting out here, 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 there. Not here, here. Maybe thicker. Yeah. Yeah, nothing terribly fancy, but the tentacle, it works. Now he's got there, and maybe I just kind of thicken up line a little. Oh, better. It's a big fat tentacle, and maybe if I don't like it, it's so fat. Race. Go. That. Make it feel, however. And then for the face, I really like this guy's hat. So I'm gonna come over here. This. lasso off this guy's face. Copy that. Select. I know. Then I just try to fit. Might look good. Right on the eyes again. Back that up. And I can just kind of go in and erase. Don't need. Got a nice hat. But even then, maybe I don't really like how tall this guy's face is. So Mr. Mythos is a little mysterious. So I'm just going to fill in his whole face with black. Then erase out. Let's see, just out of curiosity, lower the opacity here and eyes way up here. Match that. See how that looks. Check face, tiny face. Head, fill it in. Pretty tall face. So trace this up better. So that tall face, I want to just go down a little. Pretty good. Now I can see that I have a bunch of stuff back there. So just erase. That. Okay. So at that point, I got Mr. Mythos. I've got a whole new character. So then I can just go through, delete everything that I don't need if I care. That. Then I can, if I really want to, just merge these. So merge down, just Command P or merge down. So then they're all here. So now I've got my character. Which is now I can take this character and move it over to the token using the classic red token from ICRPG. Shrink that down. I'll start thinking about how I want to fit in. I generally like to just line up their eyes with that top line, and then I see what else is out there. I take some time to crop, expand space out. So, yeah. So now I got that. I don't need all that space. Crop it down. What I need. And then this is what I got from a Bodhi. He does a white circle in the back and then two red circles, and he sandwiches the art in between. The reason why is you can do sandwich them in between. So now I can see kind of the token, the red circle on top, the art, and then the red circle on bottom. And then what I can do is I can create a mask and also do this with a just erasing if you want. But then with the mask, I can just come over here, mask that up. Again, I can do this with the eraser as well. Just the mask is a little bit less destructive, so I can erase. And then what I can do is I can go to the top circle, and then because they're directly on top of each other, I can just erase, and you get a perfectly matched line. Erase, 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 and it's because, see, that red one makes it look perfect, even though you just erase it. And then the last thing that I like to do is, obviously, by removing the white background, you're left with some transparencies that are overextending. So I'll create a new layer, just put it behind the art, and then what I can do is, if you just paint white, select brush, start painting white over top of it, clear up all that transparency. If you need help looking for it, you can just do a new fill layer, and set that just to the very back, and change it to something like a gray, so you can see exactly what's transparent, what's not. And then go back to your layer, keep painting white. And all you're really looking for is anything that's overlapping the red circle and the black, the red circle and anything outside. So when it's on the VTT, you actually have it go up. Paint white, whatever you need. You can use the same technique as well to paint him any color you want. It doesn't have to just be white. I can here, and it's brown. I can go through the whole process of painting my characters so they're not just black and white. I can color them however I feel like, and because the transparency is there and you're coloring below the black, you'll only, as long as you stay within the lines, it will just appear filled in rather than um, having to worry about overdoing or getting rid of any of the black mark. So you can see that once I remove the fill, see that it's just not there, and I paint him however I want. Detailed or as needed as you get. So then you just left, you don't do the colors, you can see that there. Have the nice overlapping token. And then all you have to do is go to File, and then you can do Export, which is Command Option Shift S, export, and then you just export as a ping, PNG, and then just put it wherever you want. Then you have your new token. So hopefully that helps. And again, it's a lot of fun, really quick. I know it's not necessarily as easy as Alex Azarez's method. Is really fast, really simple, but this one allows me to kind of mix and mash all the different arts to custom tokens however I need or want. So hopefully that helps.